another. But if you look at on paper, I think Madara has always been the better side of both teams. Because the reason why I'm saying this, I think, because Kimanzi has always been a very tactical coach. He knows how to approach the game so well. And definitely going into this match, I think he's not under pressure. The Gor Mahia coach has said that Madara is under pressure. I don't think Madara is under pressure at all. Anytime Madara has always faced Gor Mahia, I think Gor Mahia has always been the team with the pressure, because Gor Mahia coming into this game believing that they must try and break this jinx against Madara United. So I think the task lies on Gor Mahia to maybe try and change these results. But to me, on paper, I think Madari, they stand a very good chance of trying to of winning this match.
Salim Waziri, Kimanzi always getting the better of Gor Mahia. Tomorrow, are we going to see that continue?
I think this is a match that Kimanzi always lives for, because he likes coming up against the big boys, and most importantly Kogalo. But then again, I think, as Ronnie also said earlier, I think Kimanzi for me is one of the best coaches, not only in Kenya but in East Africa, because tactically is one of the best. And I think tomorrow, as they say, Mathare are under pressure. They are not under any pressure, because they are sitting pretty at the top of that log, and I think with a 2 or 3 points gap between them and the second position who are Sofapaka. So I think it's a game, it's a match to look forward to, Robinson, because there are two very quality sides tomorrow. So I think for me, whoever comes into the match more hungry and well prepared will take home the points. But if one of the sides doesn't come well prepared, I think both sides have the quality to rip each other apart.
Yes, and also what's interesting about this bout is that currently the hottest prospect in Kenya Premier League, according to me, that's Cliff Nyakea. Last season's midfield of the year. He's a former Gor Mahia youth player, but he didn't get the opportunity to maybe trying to make it into the senior team. But now look at what he's doing at Mombasa United. I think he's been one of the most exceptional players, and he's the player to watch out in this Mombasa United team, because if you look at what Kimanzi has done with these young boys, it's a team full of young boys and young talent. And I mean, this is a long-term project, hopefully soon, and maybe I hope it's this year that maybe Mombasa United is going to carry the league.
Speaking about having young talent, there's a veteran in the team. He's been performing well so far. 2 goals, 2 assists to his name. Kimani, coming back from Sofapaka, getting back to Mathare, and he's been steering that midfield. What do you make of him?
I think fans call him the journeyman. He's always been on in the continent, out of the continent. But to me, he's one of the best wingers we have in the country at the moment. Technically, he's gifted. He's very skillful. He has a lot of power, a lot of pace, and to me, again, he's been one of Kimanzi's best signings this season. And I think we must give credit to Kimanzi, because I think he knows what is lacking in the team. He likes to sign players according to what the team needs. And Kimanzi, looking at his performance this season, I think he's been also one of the most influential players. And if you look at that forward line that has Nyakea playing on one flank, Kimani playing on one flank, and maybe at the centre back they always have a Luanga or maybe a striker like Chris Ochieng. And in the midfield they have a very good midfielder in the name of Roy Okal. To me, I think this is the team to watch out for this season.
Team to watch out for this season. So let's take a look at the fixtures for the Kenya Premier League this afternoon. Remember, Sofapaka will be in action in the only match that is slated for this afternoon at 3 p.m. at Machako Stadium. Sofapaka taking on Tusker FC. Now, Salim Waziri, what do you expect from this tie? Sofapaka versus Tusker FC.
It's a top table clash. I think position 2 and position 3 on the table, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, I think Sofapaka, the likes of John Avire, their top striker, I think he has performed so well so far this season. And for me, Tusker have won 3 in the last 5 games, so that has got to speak volumes. And Matano has got to bring out the best in the likes of Brian Osumba. And there's this man, the young man Mashari, their number 8. I think he's so good on the John Mashari. So I think both sides, it will be a very cagey affair, Robinson. But at the end of the day, I think Sofapaka will just nick it.
Sofapaka will nick it. So we move on to the fixtures for tomorrow. That is Sunday, the 6th of January. We have Vihiga United taking on Mount Kenya United. Now, Ronnie, Mount Kenya United, 1 point to their name so far. They're bottom of the log. This is formerly Nakumatt taking on Vihiga United. Expectations?
To me, the team that has an upper hand over the other, I think, is the home team, Vihiga United. I mean, they've not been registering that good results, but if you compare them to Nakumatt, I think formerly Mount Kenya, formerly Nakumatt, Mount Kenya, they're really struggling in terms of financial-wise. People thought maybe things would improve, but they're not improving. They're really struggling maybe to try and get their form back, and they sign more new players, and some of these new players, they've not really gelled well. So to me, Vihiga facing Mount Kenya United at the right time, because Mount Kenya is struggling and Vihiga need the points. Even though Mount Kenya need the points,
Vihiga is also a side that a few weeks ago, before 2018 came to an end, there was a side that the players went on strike because they had not been paid.
But, I mean, they went on strike.
They have an upper hand in this.
Definitely, being the home team. The home team normally has the upper hand. But if you look at it on paper, I think Mount Kenya will find hard visiting Vihiga.
Of course, that match will be played at the Bukungu Stadium at 1 p.m. Now, KCB versus Kariobangi Sharks. Of course, Salim Waziri said that Kariobangi Sharks have an upper hand in this match that will be played at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. Do you expect Sharks to get all the 3 points against your former side?
Well, I don't know really what to say about this match because I'm sure the coaches are watching. But on paper, I can look at it on paper. On paper, I think KCB, they're really struggling. Even though they have a good team, the earlier they get their form back, the better. But on paper, I think Kariobangi Sharks, they stand a better chance. We've seen them rubbing shoulders with the big boys, trying to outplay the big boys. They beat Gor Mahia, went ahead and went to Ghana and maybe took Asante Kotoko all the way to, to their limits. So to me, Sharks, they're coming in at a good form. And to me, KCB will find it very hard.
Of course, yes, Salim.
And then again, for KCB Robinson, we have to see if it's true Elvis Ayani and Ezekiel Akwana were the problem. So Franco Una, their head coach, has got to step up to the plate and show that I was never the problem. I was being sabotaged, as they say he was. So I think for me, but the two sides, this is where they say, Robinson, sit back and see attacking football at its very best because they are very quality side.
Yes, of course, we've talked about Mathare United versus Gor Mahia at Kasarani 3 p.m. Remember, this match will be live on KTN Burudani TV. And then Bandari take on Sony Sugar. Bandari is still unbeaten since Bernard Mwalala took over. who's going to hand Bernard Mwalala his first loss as the manager for Bandari? Do you see that coming?
I think, you know, Sony Sugar is a very unpredictable side. They can go away, pick points, come back home and maybe lose a match. Going into the port, I think they're going to check whether there are any contrabands in Bandari. I think this is a very tough match.
Yes.
But Bandari, they're in a very good form. And I think Bandari, they like taking advantage of playing their home matches. So to me, Sony Sugar should expect a very tough match because Bandari are going for nothing but 3 points. We've seen what they've done with the coach. The coach have really tried to revolutionize the sides, to the side bringing new players, trying to play a new style. We saw what he did at his former team. I think it's just the same continuity. So I think the coach is doing a very good job. Sony Sugar also trying to get the points. And to me, they stand a very good chance.
Of course, Chemelil Sugar taking on Western Stima. Western Stima second on the Kenya Premier League log. Before we continue with the fixtures, did you expect to see Western Stima second on the log at this point?
Without a doubt.
Of course, you are a former player. You are from Western Stima. Former player. Yes. They're taking on Chemelil Sugar. What do you expect?
I think Western Stima, they'll take the match. They've always had an upper hand over Chemelil Sugar, either playing at home or playing away. My only problem is now they're missing the influential player, that is Kevin Okoth. There's been a row between Western Stima and Tusker, maybe Tusker claiming this is our player. And just recently...
The transfer season is open.
It's open, and just recently Kevin Okoth extended his contract at Western Stima. So there's a little bit of push and shove between the two sides. But I think Western Stima still has what it takes to play over Chemelil Sugar side. But Chemelil playing at home, again, it's going to be tough.
Oh, Salim Waziri, Ulinzi Stars, after losing to Nzoia Sugar midweek 2-0, they're taking on Zoo FC at home. That is at the Afra Stadium tomorrow.
I think, Robinson, season in, season out, Ulinzi Stars are always a KPL title contenders, but it never happens, and it keeps on reflecting why they never take it, because they blow hot and cold, and you cannot do that in a very competitive league like ours at the moment. So I think for me, at Afra Stadium on Sunday, they have got to collect maximum points, because if they don't, then the gap between them and the top half of the table will be so wide, they won't manage to catch up anymore.
Kakamega Homeboys taking on Rangers, and of course the other match of the day, FC Leopards against Nzoia Sugar, that will be played at the Machakos Stadium. Of course, Ingwe, expectations, they're taking on Nzoia Sugar.
That's another, it's like a derby.
Yeah.
It's a Western derby.
Yes, it's a Western derby.
Those teams, they come from Western, but FC Leopards, I think they're under pressure to perform. They're a big club. There are a lot of expectation from their fans to maybe try and match Gor Mahia, which I think shouldn't be the case, because I think they're also in a rebuilding process. But that match, them being at home, I think they'll be going for all the 3 points against Zoya.
And again, bragging rights are at stake, and rumors have it that the fans, supporters are now drying up their drums, because there's going to be song after song after song, because when these two sides meet, you expect crunchy tackles, and someone has got to go home with the points. And I think at the moment, FC have got to collect points, because also their backroom is not in order.
Well, speaking about